Welcome back. All right, so busy day this weekend for NHL hockey players. Well, at least some of them. There are some split squad games here where teams are playing two games the same day. There are large rosters right now, so don't read anything into the results. People might, but don't read much into the results. And just, this is a case where we see which rookies are ready, which young guys are ready. And as the preseason goes along, we'll see those rosters get whittled down and we'll have a better idea of who is or isn't making the roster. So, the Senators playing a split squad game with the Toronto Maple Leafs at 1 o'clock Eastern, which is 10 a.m. Pacific. They also play at 7 o'clock Eastern, which is 4 o'clock Pacific. And so, yeah, we'll see how those games go. The Ontario rivalry should be a pretty good one this year. Also at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, the Boston Bruins in against the Philadelphia Flyers. Expectations a little different in Boston than they are in Philadelphia. And then at 8 o'clock Eastern, we have the St. Louis Blues in against the Arizona Coyotes. So we have 4 games on Saturday, relatively quiet for Saturday. We won't see much of that this year. And then Sunday, and it's hockey all day on Sunday. So if you're able to find video/live footage of all these games, awesome. I don't know that all of them are going to be carried. Sportsnet will be carrying both of the Toronto games, and then on Sunday, we'll see what happens. Now, of course, remember that for me, I will not be watching hockey on Saturday. I will be watching hockey once we get home on Sunday, but I'm not sure of exactly what time, and I'm guessing that the Vancouver game down here might be the one I end up watching. We'll see. So it's Sunday, or on Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern, which is 10 a.m. Pacific, the Pittsburgh Penguins in against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Then you have that 1 hour staggered, which on Sundays can be exhausting. It's a lot to watch. And it just goes on for a very long time. It feels like a really long movie I'm watching at that point. But yeah, Pittsburgh-Columbus should be a fun one. An hour later, we've got Buffalo in against the Washington Capitals. Buffalo, of course, a little bit higher expectations. We'll see how their preseason goes. 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, we've got the Colorado Avalanche in against the Minnesota Wild in the first of a split squad game for the Avs. And so we'll see how that goes. Colorado playing twice. So when you see that, just remember it means it's a split squad. And actually in the NHL app, it'll tell you if it's a split squad game. 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific, Anaheim in against the Arizona Coyotes. So again, 2 teams that are outside the playoff picture at this point in most people's projections, but more expected out of Anaheim than is expected out of Arizona. 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, we've got Winnipeg in against Edmonton. That should be a fun little matchup. And again, when you watch these games, you're looking at the rookies, you're looking at the guys who are borderline, whether they're going to make it or not, and see which one's impressive, right? 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, we got 3 games starting then. Starting with LA in against the San Jose Sharks. That should be entertaining. Anytime you have a battle of the 2 California teams, any combination of the 2, they will hate each other. Calgary's in against Vancouver. It's a split squad game. There's a Calgary in Vancouver game at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, and then at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, Vancouver's in against Calgary. So don't worry if you're looking at the schedule going, wow, they start a game in Vancouver and an hour later they're starting a game in Calgary. How are they going to do that? Well, it's split squad, so don't worry. 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern start time between Pittsburgh and Columbus, the second half of their doubleheader. So lots of games on, but a lot of doubling up. So it's not as many teams playing as it might appear when you look at the board. And then the last game of the night will be at 9 Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, the Vegas Golden Knights in against the Colorado Avalanche. And Vegas looking to bounce back from a really off season by their standards last year. And Colorado looking to start where they left off. Stanley Cup champs, they probably like that. And they'll probably want wins in both games. But again, it's split squad. So we'll see how this all works out. And usually with split squad, you'll see the more NHL ready lineup in one game than you'll see in the other. That seemed to be the case last year in the preseason. It's pretty standard that they'll have, here's our A squad, here's our B squad. These are the guys that we think are going to make it. These are the guys that probably won't. They kind of telegraph it with these as the preseason goes along, but this is the first of the preseason games. I'm looking forward to watching it. And hey, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. You guys can practice making your picks as well, but again, during preseason, it really is random. It can be really difficult trying to figure out who's going to win because the lineups can be very tricky. And even when you've got an NHL ready roster, you may have guys that already have jobs won, so they may not be as concerned as maybe the players on the other team that don't have jobs won. So we'll see how things turn out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. And don't worry, when we get to the regular season, there will be an actual board dedicated to previews. I do that every year. I just try to change it up every year, so look forward to that. And hey, thank you guys so much for all your support. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will talk to you again soon.